Welcome everyone. It is November. We are officially 1 year into this food forum, believe it or not. So we've had tons of people on. We've had a few people on. We've covered a lot of different subjects, from grant writing to volunteer recruitment to director recruitment. And one of the things that I like is that even when we're not on the forum, this group is still communicating. I get messages from people about what they need or what they have a surplus of. And I think it's been a great resource for redistribution of resources. Chris could probably speak to that a little bit. I think the Foothills Food Work has been a beneficiary in some ways of that. So I think that's a really important thing to keep going. And I guess I really would just love to know what you all would like to talk about. If there's something that you're preparing for this winter or for this holiday season, that you would like to hear from others who are dealing with some of the same stuff.
Chris, did you get rid of all those spare ribs?
Yes, we did.
I hope everybody enjoyed them.
Yeah,
I heard they were fantastic.
Yeah,
they're very good. Actually,
the distribution that we did at the garden, I think we had 80 or 90 of them, and they were gone. I think we had 4 left in less than an hour.
We still have a few in our freezer, but miraculously, some of our patrons took them. I had one older lady that said, "I'll take those, then my kids will come and see me."
That's true. That's true. You know what? I realize there's some new people on here, so maybe we should go around and introduce ourselves real quick, especially because there's only 9 of us, so that makes it pretty easy. So my name is Holly Stewart. I think you all know me. I am a community nutrition educator with the SNAP-Ed grant out of Healthy Oxford Hills. I pretty much cover the Oxford Hills region for our team. And this whole little forum is a little PSE project that I'm working on. And I also do the calendar that goes out. If you haven't seen it, they look like this with all the information on the back. If you're not getting this in an email, send me an email. I'll put it in the chat what my email address is. And if you are not seeing your organization on here, I can add them. But please don't make it on a Tuesday, because Tuesdays are really full. The font can't get any smaller and the paper can't get any bigger. And Tuesdays are just like the most popular day. So that's me. So how about I pass it to Linda?
I'm Linda Bradley. I'm the director of the Sweden Food Pantry, and we are becoming a meal site. I'm easing in slowly with it. And Chris, God bless him, found somebody to deliver the meals to Sweden. And it will be the 3rd Wednesday of the month, each month.
So Sweden is going to do the 3rd Wednesday. And Chris is always good about giving me his updates. When does that start? In December, Linda?
It'll start next week.
Oh, okay. So it's in November. Okay. So it's not going to be on this calendar, but I'll know for December. Okay. That's great. Yeah. You want to pass it to somebody, Linda?
Okay. I'll pass it to Chris.
Hey, I'm Chris Borden. I am the project manager of Foothills Food Works. We make meals with as much local food as possible and package them up and distribute them to area food pantries. We have 5 right now, including Sweden. We also have Lovell, West Paris, Sumner, and Norway, and we also distribute 3 times a month at the Allendale Community Garden, which may be changing because it's going to be cold here pretty soon and snowy, and we'll be looking for some place where we can sit inside and bring the meals out to people. It's looking that it may end up being at the UU Church in Norway, but we will see, and I'll keep everybody updated. And I will.
Yeah,
Oh.
Chris, you want to do a plug for looking for resources? What types of things you need if they have a surplus?
Right now, there's not really anything that we need. We do have a refrigerator that I would like to offer up to anybody. We just moved all of our storage over to the co-op in Norway, down in the basement and in their walk-in, so we no longer need our refrigerator. So if anybody is looking for one, we have one. It's at CB on Main Street in Norway. And if anybody wants it, they can get in touch with me and we can arrange a way to pick it up.
Can you talk to Rocky about maybe donating it to the garden?
I was actually, I was gonna move it
over.
over there, but there's not a whole lot of room for another refrigerator. I think there are 2 or 3 in there already.
Well, one of them isn't really working, that's why.
Yeah. Yeah, but I had mentioned it before.
Right, because we are building a new space and then you'll have a warm place to serve food from, so.
Right.
It's what to do with all the stuff. Okay.
Yeah. But as far as surplus, yeah, it's just a matter of, just reaching out to places, to farms. A couple examples. Tomorrow, I'm going to pick up around 200 pounds of carrots from Patch Farm that they have a surplus of. Their storage carrots. We'll be able to use them for soups. I'm also Smedberg's. They matched me. I bought 50 pounds of just an assortment of squash, and they matched me with a 50-pound donation. So
Nice.
yeah, it's just reaching out to people and seeing if they have anything available.
Rice? Do you need rice?
I have so much rice right now.
Lentils, everybody's got lots of lentils.
Yeah, actually lentils, we could always use lentils. Keep those on hand. Those are a good protein source, good in soups, good in casseroles.
Yeah, the pantries definitely get a lot of lentils, so. Connect with them. Karen, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Karen Eastman, and I'm the director of Servants at Food Pantry over there in Peru. And we're open on every Tuesday and the second Monday of the month.
Bill?
And
Oh, sorry, go ahead, Karen, sorry.
I was going to say Bill too.
I'm Bill White. I'm up in Bethel. I am a nutrition educator along with Holly. My territory is sort of the hinterlands of Oxford County. I'm doing Deerigo, Morobe, and Rumford Elementary up in the Rumford area, and I'm going to be going in person starting fairly soon down to Shakopee Valley to which is down the Porter area. So it's a lot of driving or going to be, but I've really enjoyed working with the kids, and it is fun trying them on some new foods, and it's been a blast.
And Bill, are you still volunteering at the Bethel Food Pantry?
I did actually the food pantry up in Rumford last month. I've not been doing it as much in Bethel. I've just because it's on days when I have classes, so it's not been for me. But I have been volunteering there for a few years.
Welcome, Joanne.
Yes, thank you. I'm Joanne Cohn. I just joined the board of the Bridgeton Food Pantry, and somebody sent me the email about this talk today. So I expected a few hundred people on the call, but I'm just trying to get up to speed on what other food pantries are doing and what the issues are and such. So if you don't mind my participating.
We are very happy to have you to participate. That's exactly what this forum's for. Unfortunately, we don't ever have a few hundred people on it, but I think it makes for better conversations with a smaller group, actually. We've gotten up to, I think, 25 on a really busy day. And we
Wow.
often have a lot of government representatives that come on, and different organizations. I know the Maine Agriculture Department wanted to come on. They have a new director who's in charge of emergency food assistance, but they had a schedule conflict, but they are planning to be on the December call to give an update. Jimmy Durda, I think it is the new person. So they reached out and said, could they come on? And I said, of course. We are not limited. So welcome, Joan. Probably Carol Madsen probably sent you the invite. Is that right?
Yeah, yes, right. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
so
Rotary
what-
used,
I'm sorry?
the Rotary, are they not doing their call anymore, are they? No.
No,
She said everybody joined this one. She actually also said somebody from Naples was going to be on, possibly.
Oh, okay. So what geography does this group cover?
We are a kind of, I call it the Foothills because it's more than Oxford County. We go up to Franklin County. It's really anybody in the Western Foothills region who would like to be on. So Bridgeton is certainly a part of that.
Okay, great.
We're happy to have people from further afield. It's just a matter of when we talk about sharing resources, how far somebody's going to drive to go get something. But we do know that Andy Sweat will get a truck and pretty much pick up anything anywhere around the state. So she is a fabulous resource. So
Yeah, that's what I hear. Thanks.
okay. Rosalie?
Yes, I'm Rosalie Ketchum. I'm actually the treasurer of Oxford Hills Food Pantry. And I'm sort of acting as the part-time director with my food manager. We're open Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Monday and Friday, 9 to 11, and Wednesday, 4 to 6. This is a new set of hours that we're trying. But I've had some volunteers who are willing to work 4 to 6. They're younger than some of the others. So I'll be training them, which is a director's job. I'll be training them every Wednesday from now to the middle of December. So I'm looking forward to that. We also take the meals on the third Friday of the month, give them out. What else would you like to know about us?
I'd love to know if maybe your future director is one of your 4 to 6 volunteers.
Well, I have no clue. It's, who knows? It's possible.
Who knows? Who knows? How many are you getting people coming in that 4 to 6 time period now that it's been it's been about a month?
It's not a lot. We have had some. I think my daytime amount of people is picking up a little bit. You know, there's a lot of food available, you know, bags in the trunk or boxes in the trunk. I think we're getting the smaller families who don't need that kind of bulk food. You know what I mean? But we'll know. We'll find out. I have 30 Thanksgiving baskets to give out, and we'll be doing Hannaford gift cards for their turkeys and pies. Otherwise, it'll be, you know, fresh. We're doing fresh food as well as canned food. And some of the special items that have come in from the TFAP orders, like they'll be getting a pound of butter and shelled walnuts, maybe some almonds, you know, and we're going to dress it up a little bit. And they'll be getting it on the 19th.
Great. That's great. Thank you. Thanks, Rosalie. Julia?
Good day. I'm Julia Lester. I'm a member of the community living in Paris. I'm also a director on our school board of Oxford Hills, and I'm here to listen and be aware of some of the advocacy going on in our communities to see kind of what's going on, what our families are going through, and yeah, be more aware. Just listening. Thank you very much.
Welcome. Amy?
I'm Amy Mailman. I'm the community resource representative working for Good Shepherd Food Bank. I cover Androscoggin, Oxford, and I just adopted the Western Hills of Cumberland County. So looking forward to getting to know those partners as well. And so yeah, and I'm just here to try and give you guys resources that Good Shepherds has, as well as learn from all of you so that I can share it with the rest of my partners.
Great. Amy, is there anything happening with the Thanksgiving and Christmas coming down? Does Good Shepherd do anything to help to support the pantries? Like Rosalie was saying, they were doing, you know, big Thanksgiving baskets.
So we used to do turkeys and pies. That was before my time. We have not continued to do it because the price point that we get is just not competitive. So for example, we're going to pay more for a turkey than the partners can go out and get at Hannaford, just because it's so competitive. So it's the same way with pies. We are not going to be able to purchase something that is at any kind of a discount for anyone. So we don't offer that. We do have the harvested produce that's going to be coming in, whatever is fresh or whatever is brought in. And of course, we have the staples of canned vegetables and rice and whatever is on the menu for TFAP. So, but as far as, unfortunately, for Christmas or Thanksgiving, we don't seem to have what is needed out there. A lot of people that I've been talking to is doing just what Rosalie is doing, as far as Hannaford gift cards or restricted gift cards to a grocery store to get turkeys or whatever they need for the Thanksgiving dinner. And I guess I don't know why it didn't dawn on me, but one person had told me that, you know, a lot of their people are homeless or couch surfing, and what are they going to do with the turkey? By the time they thaw it in their vehicle or wherever they're staying, it's no good. So, so they're able to take the gift card and maybe go get an already roasted chicken, you know? And so I think that it's a really wonderful idea. And plus it frees up a lot of storage for pantries.
Yeah.
Yes,
So-
we can't store that many turkeys.
Yeah.
The only ready-made meal I know of for Thanksgiving is at Daddy-O's this year. Has anybody heard of anybody else on Thanksgiving Day doing any meals? I know the Catholic Church across from Christ Church, Norway, where the pantry is, used to do one, but because of COVID, I don't think anybody's doing one. And I know Daddy-O's is a drive-through. So pick up and go.
The Alliance Church in Bridgeton, I just heard today, is going to have a Thanksgiving dinner. I'm not sure of the details, but
If I'm not, the door will be unlocked and you'll be able to do it anyway.
Okay, I can look, I'll look into that, Joey.
Okay.
I'll try to call them and get some details and
16, yes.
see if
Thank
I
you.
can,
Yeah, I'll forward the email I got to you, Holly.
oh, that
so
would be
you-
great. Cause I send up a follow-up email from this, so I'll put on there that Foothills Food Works has an extra refrigerator they're trying to get rid of. We'll
That's
find
great.
out any free meals. Linda, were you about to say something before?
Well, I was just going to say that we're also doing a gift card for Thanksgiving that we got through Hannaford. Usually we go through Food City, but Hannaford has bigger selections, so we're doing that this time. And there was also a restaurant in Freiburg used to do, 302 used to do a Thanksgiving dinner, but I haven't seen anything posted yet this year. I don't know. And Chris, what size is your refrigerator and how, is it old?
No, it's not old. I mean, it's not brand new, but it's definitely not old. The exact size I couldn't tell you. It's definitely a little bit bigger than what you would normally have in your house. Not by much.
Does it have an upper freezer or is it all refrigeration?
Yeah, it has an upper freezer, and the refrigerator part, it just has the bottom shelf because I was storing big containers in there, so I
Right.
took the other shelves out. And it only has one of the drawers on the bottom. The other side is more like a little cubby hole.
Well, I'll think about it only because ours, we wanted to start getting a really old ones, like they go back to 2006, so they're pretty old, but as far as a refrigerator is concerned, but they're some of the older ones are better made, so I'll let you know if we can use it.
Yeah, I'll send you some pictures.
Okay,
Oh, that
great.
would be great. Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah, I'll send you some pictures too, Holly. So if you want to add them to the email.
So I think I've mentioned to you guys before that I was going to get training on this nutritious pantry program out of Good Shepherd, and I just got sent the link for this online class. So I'm going to work on that next week and see what that's all about. So if anybody is interested, the idea is that I would be helping you facilitate having more nutritious products and sharing with your staff, your volunteers, as well as your recipients, ways to use this food and to make it a more nutritious experience. Because as we all know, not all calories are the same. So, and the healthier we can get people, the better we all are. So I'm interested in really learning more about this program. Amy, do you know more about it?
So when I know it's Leah's Pantry, and I
Right.
know that we had four partners that were piloting it. One of them being Bill Glass in Sumner. He was piloting Leah's Pantry and he was super excited about it. As far as my knowledge goes, a lot of it some of it took place like last fall, but it was just like very, tip of the iceberg kind of thing. And then when I went to Florida is when all the training happened. So unfortunately, I missed the training on Leah's Pantry to know what the nuts and bolts are. But as far as I understand, Bill is super excited about it. So he's definitely a resource as far as what it's all about.
Cool. So I can reach out to him and I'll find out about it. And then, because I would love to find a couple pantries that would be interested in trying it out of our group. And then hopefully we can spread it, that's the intention.
Yeah, and as soon as I find out more information on my side, I definitely will share it.
Okay.
And hopefully I can get into some training because I missed it.
You think they would send you the link? It's all online. It's all self-guided online, this one.
Well, I think if I remember right, I tried it, but because I missed one of the essential trainings, I couldn't get into it until it's like reintroduced.
Okay. So that's good. Anybody else? Anybody have any burning issues? Anything they want to talk about? What's working, what's not? Rosalie?
I just wanted to mention that one of the ways we were able to actually get our newest volunteers for training from the 4 to 6 was that one of my board members takes care of a Facebook page for us. And she put that information on our Facebook page. And that's how I got those volunteers. It didn't help with the director, but it's helping with the 4 to 6 time.
That's good. That's good.
That is awesome feedback. Absolutely.
I think Norway runs on Facebook basically. there are very few businesses that have actual websites. They all have Facebook pages. So, I mean, I feel like it's an essential tool if you're trying to communicate in this area. So whether you like it or not, that's
I just wanted to give a shout out there because yesterday at Good Shepherd, we had the capacity building grant webinar. It answered a lot of questions about what will qualify for the grant, as well as how the scoring how competitive it is. It showed pretty much, it had a couple of speakers. It had Bill Glass on there, and it had some other pantries that got grants last year, how they used them, and some pro tips on information to include in the grant in order to get great scores. This was a recorded webinar, so it is on, or will be on our website. I'm sure that they're tweaking it right now. So just an FYI, if you have trouble finding it on our website, give me a shout, and I'll get that information for you. But it was a great, just over an hour and a half, a lot of great information, a lot of great questions came from the participants. So if you guys couldn't get to it yesterday, I know Linda was on there, and yeah, definitely great information.
got one of the.
I have, Sweden has got a grant from there before, and we were fortunate to get it, and we got a van, an awesome van with that grants, and it's made transportation of food so much easier than a pickup truck. So,
And you can also pick up a refrigerator in it, right?
you could, yes, you could. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
What's the deadline for that grant, Amy?
So December 3rd, December 2nd or December 3rd, and people will find out whether or not they received it February 2nd of 2022.
Who's eligible for that?
Good Shepherd Food Bank network of partners. So it's any of the food pantries, shelters, or soup kitchens that are partnered with Good Shepherd.
Okay, and how do you become a partner? And do you think I would meet the qualifications for that?
Well, for one thing, it is kind of a process. We do have another set of grants coming out in the spring, but that's definitely something, Chris, I would love to talk to you about offline, just because it is quite a process. And I just would like to talk to you about how your organization is set up. So yeah, definitely give me a shout. I'd love to talk to you guys about that.
Yeah, because you're definitely like a mobile soup kitchen right now, serving a lot of areas. Yeah.
Yeah, that's super exciting to be able to reach or find out all of the areas that you were reaching. I mean, that is super exciting. Thank you.
Great.
Through this forum, just kind of to give a shout out to Holly in this awesome forum. This is the forum that Melissa Harding and I got together, and she then created the Rumford, the old schoolhouse food pantry in Rumford. So yeah, I definitely want to give Holly a huge shout out, because that was much needed in the area after Grandpa closed.
Yeah, when Grandma closed. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Is that the one you went and worked at, Bill, last week? At the old school one? You're muted, Bill, you're muted. You're muted.
We were working out of the SNAP offices right out of the parking lot downtown there. So I don't think this is the same one.
Oh, that's the commodities pickup
Yep.
on Wednesday. That's
Yep.
different. Yeah.
300 or so boxes we gave out. It was pretty amazing.
Right.
I have a question about the need. Are pantries seeing more people coming or less? I was wondering if things are getting better for people or worse.
We've actually declined since the height of the pantry, or I don't know, we're still pretty at the height of at the height of COVID. At one time, we were up to like 60 families, but that was when we were doing everything as a to-go box. And then there were no, no one had to sign up. There were no restrictions. We were just packing cars with food. In the end of July, we went back to offering people can come in and shop, providing they'll wear masks, or they can call for a to-go box. And I think once we said call for a to-go box, we lost a segment of the population that was either not organized enough to put in a phone call, because we prepared the boxes before. We just prepared everybody's box, and we did it on the numbers that we had the time before. And now we prepare just the calls that we get. And I think that because now we're serving about 30, 32 families. So it definitely has changed.
Are you doing the checkoff list, like the shopping list that we got from Bill Glass, where they could pick what they wanted in the box?
No, we never took that on. Back when we were doing 50, 60 boxes, it just overwhelmed, just the idea of it, I found overwhelming, So we just packed them, and they got what they got. But a lot of people, at that time, we were getting like 10 families or so from Auburn, which I found quite unusual. Now, but one person from Waterford picked them up and brought them to the people in Auburn. And it was okay. I mean, people understood that they could share food with anybody. People who lived in apartments put the food out in the hallway. Other people shared it. But, they haven't been coming since we put in that new stipulation.
I spoke with Sandy Sweat from Harrison Food Bank last week, and her numbers are down. They were at 600 a day on the Tuesdays that they were open at the height of the pandemic. They got on the national news. I mean, it was just crazy. And she's about 350 now, maybe 400. But as the weather's getting cooler and people start putting money into heating their homes or in their places, I think we've traditionally seen an uptick. That the summer, it kind of slows down a little bit. There's more places where there's food. There's a lot more, farmers markets, there's fresh produce around, people are growing gardens. But I think in the winter, it definitely does uptick a little bit. Karen, are you seeing that at your pantry?
We've kind of gone back to the drive-up distribution because we've been really worried about COVID. And so we've been just preparing the boxes as they come, and they kind of get what, they'll tell us if they need specialized items, but that's how we've been doing it. And we see about anywhere from 25 to 30 people in that day. So that's kind of a lot for our area. I think
Yeah.
this food pantry is seeing similar amounts too. So, but even with all our, trying to watch out for COVID, we still managed to have one of our volunteers take sick with COVID. So we had to close down this week just to kind of take precautions, clean up the pantry. And
it is a worry. I worry that, when we made our decision in July, numbers were looking pretty good. And they're not looking very good. And so that we need to rethink that, because they can't wait outside. They waited outside, but the last 2 times they're waiting upstairs in the church. That's a whole different element added in. So I'm not sure how long we'll do it.
Yeah, you have to judge what's safe for you and your volunteers, obviously, and also safe for those participants. Julie, I was wondering, Julia, since you're on the school board, I know all of the schools have a pantry. I don't know how active it is since COVID has been, because we haven't really been engaging with the schools as much because of that. Do you know anything about how the school pantries are? Are they seeing an increase in people needing it or anything like that? Because I think a lot of families do use those.
I must confess that I am a little bit ignorant on the numbers. related to the food pantries at the school. I know it's a continuing thing, but I can look into that and let you guys know what's up, if that would help, just to get a pulse.
Would I'd love to know, because I think we get some of the same population, but not all. And it would also be nice to know how we can support those school pantries as well.
Yeah, I could.
Holly, we have 3 school pantries that we are the fiscal responsible entity for. We're not allowed to know who's getting the food and who isn't. We have people in the schools, in our 3 schools, who take care of it. All we can do is pay the bills.
Right. I don't think I want to know who's getting it specifically, but are their numbers increasing? Are they finding they're not having enough food? You know, what the need is within the school pantries. And if also the people who are using the school pantries, do they know about the community pantries? You know, is there any other connection for those people to make if they are still in need of food?
I know in our school district in SAD 72, the schools all have a backpack program. I think Freiburg
Right.
Academy probably has their own pantry. I don't know about that, but
Right.
the backpack program they're funded through their own organization. Can you guys hear my dogs? Because I'm going to throw them out if you can.
A little bit. You're just a little
Okay.
growly.
Yeah, they're having a grand old time. I'm going to put them back outside. So that, I don't know how that's going. I could find out because I know the lady that runs it.
I just think it's an area of food pantries and food insecurities that we haven't really talked about here.
Right.
But
I'm sorry, I have to leave now. I'm due for training. I'll see you later. Thank you.
good
Bye.
luck. Good luck, Rosalie.
We're responsible for Derigo High School Food Pantry, and I keep on asking if she needs food. She needed me to place an order, but she's, I guess, okay. So I don't know what's going on over there, but I would say they're not really using that much unless they have a lot of food drives and stuff on the side. So
Yeah, Amy, are they associated at all with Good Shepherd? Do they get any food from Good Shepherd at the schools?
So there are, it's got to be 250, I think. I think we have 250 school pantry partners. They again have to qualify. I think, well, before COVID, they had to meet a certain percentage of the students were free or reduced lunch. So if they hit this threshold or below, then they could be partners with Good Shepherd. Again, with COVID, that could have switched. We do have a department it's like a co-worker of ours, the Youth and Family Initiatives Department that takes care of all of the school food or school pantries. Good Shepherd has now started an initiative to get the CRRs to be more involved with the school pantries. It's just kind of kicked off just recently so that we can have more of an insight of how the communities are in need. So, and to let them know that, you know, you have these other resources around you as well. So we do take care of, like I said, 250. I think Dirigo is, because they're part of Servant's Heart, or Servant's Heart is their fiscal sponsor. It's like Karen takes care of that, or fiscally takes care of that. So we don't really have insight as to what's going on at that school. But I do know that a lot of food pantries go out kind of on their own to assist schools. But once we get more involved, the CRRs will definitely, I'll share that information.
What's the CRR? I'm not. What's the
I'm
CRR?
sorry. I'm a CRR, a community resource rep. I'm
Okay.
a CRR.
Thank you.
Sorry.
We just thought you were Wonder Woman. I'm sorry. Yeah, I just feel like,
Feedback.
when you look at a community with food insecurity, what's the big picture? And I think kind of haven't really talked about that at all. Chris, did you want to say something?
Yeah, I was just wondering, is there a list or is there a way to get a list of the contact people for the school pantries? I don't know, Juliet, I don't know if you would know of a way to do that in our area,
They're different.
just so that we could, if there was a way to reach out to them.
I have the list of the ones that are partnered. Sorry, Julia.
I was
Amy, can you send that list to me? I know, Chris, it's hard. It's a different type of person in every school. At Rowe Elementary School, it was the nurse. I know at Paris Elementary School, it was a parent group that did it. So it really varies from building to building. I know that at least for SAD 17, it does. But I think that was.
So it would be helpful maybe then, if I could just give you guys a hookup to find out contact information. Does that seem like that would be helpful?
Yeah, or if Amy has some that are already partners, that would be good to know. Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
Because we talk a lot about families, but we actually haven't ever talked. I can't believe it.
Well, and and you're right on. When I talked to one of my pantries in Green, he explained to me that, we have, I think that he said 26 students that get backpacks from them. And he says, the funny thing is that none of those parents come and see us. So granted, I mean, they're giving them backpacks full of maybe some pancake mix and some peanut butter and stuff like that is shared amongst the family. It's not just for that one child, but at the same time, I wouldn't think that it would sustain the family. So yeah, that's definitely a concern of this one pantry that I know of for sure. But I'm looking for that list.
Has there been any formal reaching out to anybody, or is this kind of, you said you've been together about a year now, and were you doing community, just gathering the pantries in the community and then figuring out your holes from there?
Actually, Julia, to be honest with you, I just thought about it when we were having this conversation. I reached out to Amy, and I also did, because there's pantries that are not associated with Good Shepherd Food Bank as well, to get my original list for the people who are on the email and know about this call. But I had never, I am embarrassed to say, especially because I go into the schools and I know there's food pantries there, that I did not reach out to those people. So that's why I would like to do that. So I'm anxious to get Amy's list and find out who in the area would like to be on, because I think it's great that like Derigo is connected with Karen and Servants Hearts, but I wonder how we strengthen those relationships and how we make sure that everybody in the family is being fed and getting what they need and taking any stigma away around that.
Holly, I was wondering too, I encountered a lady that was homeless a couple weeks ago, and she was saying that she had a voucher, but she needed some housing under $600 a month. And is there any resources that we could give out to our clients that would help them, a place to go other than the usual for, I don't know, places they could reach out to for help?
I don't know specifically. I mean, general assistance or at a town office. Community Concepts does a lot of stuff with housing. I would start at Community Concepts just because I think they're so connected.
Was
And
the
really know.
the gentleman that you had on last time, Holly, didn't he have some resources around housing?
Oh yeah, the Eastern Community Development Company. He said he helped people with it. I'll look up his information and get that to you, Karen. Yeah. Ned. That's
Ned, right.
Nate. I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
If you
Because he
connect
said
with-
he helped people apply for things like that. So it may not be like emergency housing, but it's working towards housing.
Anything.
Actually,
211, if you connect with 211, they sometimes have other, they can connect you with somebody else. It's not Norway, but I don't know. I think they're out of Lewiston or Augusta.
Karen, I'm gonna put his information in the chat for you, okay? It's Nate Shed.
So Holly, I'm sending you this list. There are some blanks and I will fill those in as soon as I can.
Okay.
But Dirigo and like you said, Guy Rowe, they're on here.
Cool. Karen, just so you know, it says Eastern Maine Development Corporation, but they cover all the state of Maine. I think they started Eastern and realized that the West needed some help too. So.
Yeah, they actually do a lot. I have a kitchen worker that I got from partnering up with them and Community Concepts. They have a workforce training program. So I had her for 16 weeks and they paid her wages and paid her workers' comp and everything. And then I hired her on after her contract was up. They pay the minimum wage during the 16 weeks, but I bumped her up to give her, a fair living wage. But they've been helping her out with housing and healthcare and dental and everything. And she said that they're really great. I think they kind of work hand in hand, Community Concepts and the Eastern Maine Development Corp.
I think their role is they're really trying to connect the dots, right? And they really act as a guide through those things. So
yep.
I'm glad you had such a good experience. That's great, Chris.
Yeah.
So we're coming up on 4 o'clock. Anybody else have anything burning that they're thinking about?
Can I ask a quick question? I was shocked at what Chris just said about hiring somebody. We don't have any employees, it's all volunteers. Do most pantries have paid staff?
We're all
Chris is not a pantry. Chris is not.
Yeah, I'm not a pantry. And so the project came towards the beginning of COVID out of our local food council. We were trying to find a way to help out in the community. And one of the ways that we wanted to help was to try to reach people that had been laid off or had reduced hours, so that people could kind of have some kind of work continuing during the pandemic. And we started with looking for restaurant workers, which worked out for a little bit, but then restrictions got lifted and people started going back to work, and then decided to look in the community. But because there was no workers' comp within my program, it was really hard to find people. And somebody just out of the blue from Community Concepts called me and asked me about partnering up. So part of the funding that I apply for goes towards, I have 2 people that are doing the cooking, goes towards their wages.
But I realize it's a mixed group, but in general, do pantries have paid directors or paid staff, or it's all volunteer?
It's all volunteer as far as I know. I don't know if somebody as big as Harrison, say there's 600 people.
I think there's a way. I think that Sandy does pay certain people. I think that there and I think that she gets a salary to a certain, I don't think it's a big salary, but I think she gets a little salary. And her husband does, and he does a lot of coordinating and driving and stuff. But as far as I've heard, the pantries are not. Rosalie said they were actually considering offering a stipend for a director because they haven't been able to find somebody.
And as far as my experience goes too, I can think of 2 pantries that have paid staff, but they're also associated, like one of them is part of St. Mary's Nutrition Center. So they have different programs. And then the other one is a very large one in Lewiston as well that has a lot of other programs that are like almost social worker programs. So, and then of course we have the Progress Center in Norway that they have paid staff because they have more than one program. So I think but other than that, they're all volunteers as far as my experience goes.
Okay, thank you.
You're not alone. Volunteer. Well, I want to thank you all for coming on. I appreciate your time and your thoughts and all of your consideration to each other and what you're doing. I know it's almost Thanksgiving, and I am very thankful for all of you. And as I tell the kids this month, count how many fruits and vegetables are on your table at Thanksgiving, because it's the day when everybody eats the most fruits and vegetables. So let's we get lots on those tables. It's true. We eat more fruits and vegetables on Thanksgiving than any other time. And like I said, we should be hearing from Maine Department of Ag, Emergency Food Services in December. They've got this on their calendar for December 10th. And we'll see who else shows up. Joanne, you are welcome to invite anyone who you think would like to participate in this. We are not really limited geographically. It is just a name. But anybody who's in the area, who's working on any food insecurity projects, or who is interested in learning about what's happening in the area are welcome to be a part of this call.
Okay, great, thank you.
And Joanne, I don't think I have your email, so can you put?
I'm gonna send you an email. Oops, I'm sorry, I'm having some technical problems.
Okay, if you send me an email, then I can put you on the distribution list for the
I gotta
calendar
get
and all
off.
that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Bye,
yeah.
and thank you.
Thanks, Linda.
Bye.
It's always great to see you guys, and
Hi,
Karen,
Linda.
Chris, Bill, Julia.
Take care.
Thank you.
Take care. Stay
Thanks,
safe.
Holly.